For a long time, people believed there were only a few safe ways to make serious money. Become a doctor, become a lawyer, maybe an engineer if you were really good at math. That was basically the formula. But the world has changed. The internet made information cheaper, technology created entirely new industries, and companies increasingly care more about skills and results than prestige. Today, we're diving into 5 careers that can realistically pay $100K or more without med school or law school, including what these people actually do, why companies pay them so much, real-world examples, how people break into these careers, and the reality no one talks about online. First up, software engineering. Now, yes, everyone already knows software engineers make money, but what people don't realize is how many developers never attended elite universities, or sometimes never even finished college at all, because coding is one of the few industries where your actual ability matters more than your resume. At the end of the day, computers don't care where you went to school. Either the software works or it doesn't. Software engineers build the digital world around us. They create the apps, websites, streaming platforms, banking systems, AI tools, cloud software, games, cybersecurity systems, and pretty much everything connected to the internet. Think about how many apps you use today alone. Spotify, Instagram, Google Maps, Waze, Uber, Netflix, online banking, food delivery apps. Every single one exists because a team of engineers built and maintained them. And because modern businesses depend on software, demand remains massive. A hospital needs software engineers, a bank needs software engineers, a retail company needs software engineers. Guys, even tractors need software engineers now, which is honestly kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Imagine explaining to someone from 1980 that farmers would eventually need software updates. Now, here's what's really interesting. A lot of developers are self-taught. Some learn through YouTube, online coaching boot camps, free tutorials, open source projects, freelance work, or simply building things on their own. For example, someone might create a budgeting app, a fitness tracker, a scheduling tool, or a small online game. That project becomes proof of skill, and companies increasingly care about the proof. Now, obviously, this career is not easy. Social media loves pretending coding is some magical shortcut to wealth. You'll see people say, I learned coding in 3 months and now I make $250K working from a beach. Meanwhile, they conveniently skipped over the years of practice, the failed interviews, the debugging nightmares, the stress, and the constant learning that had to happen. Programming can mentally be exhausting. One tiny mistake can break the entire system. Engineers sometimes spend hours fixing problems caused by a single missing character in a code. Like, literally imagine one small character missing, whole thing not working. Imagine ruining your entire workday because of a semicolon. That's real. But for people who genuinely enjoy problem solving, building systems, and learning technology, software engineering can be incredibly rewarding. Many mid-level engineers earn well over $100K annually, especially in AI, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and back-end infrastructure. Senior engineers at major tech companies can earn dramatically more through salary, businesses, and stock compensation. And one of the biggest advantages, remote work. A skilled engineer can sometimes work from almost anywhere in the world. Hence, I can work from a beach and make $250K. And that level of flexibility barely existed a generation ago. Number 2, sales engineer. Now, let's talk about one of the most underrated, high-paying careers, the sales engineer. Most people have never even heard of this job, but companies will happily pay 6 figures for people who can do it well. A sales engineer combines 2 extremely valuable skills, technical knowledge and communication. And surprisingly, that combination is rare because a lot of technical experts struggle explaining things clearly, and a lot of charismatic salespeople don't understand complicated technology. Sales engineers bridge that gap. Their job is to help customers understand technical products in a way that actually makes sense. So, for example, imagine a company selling cybersecurity software, AI tools, cloud systems, robotics, medical devices, or enterprise technology. The average customer doesn't care about complicated technical jargon. They want answers like, will this save us money? How hard is this to set up? Will this protect our company? Why is this better than the competitors? Can my employees actually use this? A sales engineer helps explain all of that. They often join client meetings, product demos, presentations, and negotiations. Think of them as translators between engineers and business leaders. And because enterprise software deals can involve millions and millions of dollars, companies pay these professionals extremely well. Now, here's what is really fascinating about this career. Communication becomes a superpower. A brilliant engineer who explains things poorly may struggle. Meanwhile, someone with strong technical understanding and excellent communication becomes incredibly valuable to the company. For example, imagine two employees. One understands the product deeply but confuses every client. The other explains complex systems clearly and confidently. Guess which one closes the deal? Exactly. Many sales engineers come from backgrounds like IT support, software development, engineering, networking, or technical customer service. Some transition from sales after learning the technical side intricately. And unlike careers requiring expensive graduate degrees, companies often care more about your product knowledge, communication skills, and confidence, and relationship building. Now, let's be honest though, sales can be stressful. There are targets, deadlines, pressure, rejection. Some days you might spend hours preparing for a meeting only to have the client say, "We went another direction," which is painful and it sucks. But for people who enjoy problem solving, technology, and interacting with people, this career can be incredibly lucrative and fun. Experienced sales engineers often earn six-figure salaries, commission, bonuses, and stock options. Not to mention, a lot of companies throw in different travel benefits and things like that too. Some earn more than traditional engineers, which surprises a lot of people, but it makes sense. If someone helps close a 20 million software contract, companies are happy to reward them. Up next, the product manager. Now, if you ask 10 people what a project manager actually does, you'll probably get 10 different answers, honestly, because product management is one of those careers that sounds vague until you realize how important it really is. A product manager helps guide products from idea to launch. They coordinate between engineers, designers, marketing teams, executives, and customers. Think of them as strategic decision makers, helping teams build the right products, not just random products. For example, imagine a company creating a fitness app. A product manager might ask, what features do users actually want? Why are customers deleting the app? What would increase subscriptions? What problems are our competitors solving better than us? Which features should engineers prioritize first? They gather the information and then help teams make decisions. Because without coordination, companies waste huge amounts of money building features nobody cares about. And trust me, that happens constantly, whether it's with a small company or a big company. Tech history is filled with expensive features users ignored completely. Now, here's what makes this career interesting. There's no single path into product management. People transition from engineering, they transition from the marketing world, design, customer support, operations, psychology, even consulting and data analysis. What matters most is usually their communication, organization, leadership, strategic thinking, and understanding customer behavior. For example, imagine users are complaining, "This app is so confusing." A product manager investigates what exactly feels confusing. Are people getting stuck during sign up? Are there too many features? Is the navigation unclear? How can the experience improve? Then they work with the designers and the engineers to fix it. The best product managers are obsessed with understanding users, and companies value that because good products generate massive revenue. It's like they're solving a problem for the users, right? Think about apps like Spotify, Airbnb, Duolingo, or Uber. Those products constantly evolve based on the user experience and the strategic decisions. Now, let's talk about the downside. Product managers often get blamed for everything, unfortunately. If design slips, product gets blamed. If customers complain, product gets blamed. If engineers are frustrated, still product. It's basically professional stress coordination. But strong product managers can earn well over $100,000 annually, especially in tech. Senior product leaders often earn significantly more. And unlike highly specialized technical roles, product management develops skills that transfer across industries because every business needs people that can solve problems, organize teams, understand customers, and make decisions under pressure. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest economic shifts caused by the internet, digital marketing. 5 or 10 years ago, many businesses still relied heavily on TV commercials, radio ads, newspapers, and billboards. Today, attention lives online, and we know this, which means companies desperately need people who understand how digital attention works. That's where the digital marketer director comes in. These professionals oversee online growth growth strategies using social media, paid advertising, search engine, email campaigns, analytics, branding, and content strategy. And modern marketing is far more data-driven than people realize. This is no longer come up with a catchy slogan. Now it's how do we efficiently convert attention into revenue? For example, imagine an online clothing brand struggling with sales. They might have a great product, but they're struggling, right? A digital marketing director might redesign ad campaigns, improve TikTok strategy, optimize Instagram content, build email funnels, analyze customer behavior, and target specific audiences more effectively. Small improvements can generate huge amounts of money. Imagine increasing a company's online conversion rate from 2% to 4%. It might sound tiny, but for a company making millions in traffic, that difference becomes enormous, which is why skilled marketers are valuable. Now, here's something fascinating. A lot of successful marketers are largely self-taught. Some started by growing small Instagram pages, running YouTube channels, freelancing, managing ads for local businesses, or experimenting with online stores because the internet rewards measurable results. If someone consistently helps businesses grow revenue, companies notice. Now, naturally, social media exaggerates this field too. You'll see influencers saying, I made 6 figures running ads for my laptop. Meanwhile, they skip over the failed campaigns, sleepless nights, the changing algorithms of different social media platforms, even websites, angry clients, and years of testing. Marketing can actually be brutally competitive. Consumer attention is one of the most valuable things in the modern economy. Everyone wants it. Brands, creators, apps, companies, media platforms, literally everyone. They want to keep you on their platform or the app, which means standing out is difficult. But highly skilled marketers who understand psychology, storytelling, branding, analytics, and internet culture can absolutely build 6-figure careers without graduate school, especially because businesses continue moving online every year. And finally, one of the fastest growing careers in the modern economy, the cybersecurity specialist. Here's the reality. As the world becomes more digital, cyber threats become more dangerous. It's pretty common sense, right? Every company stores sensitive information, passwords, payment systems, customer data, financial records, medical information, and private communications, which means every company becomes a potential target. Cybersecurity specialists help protect organizations from hackers, ransomware attacks, phishing scams, malware, and data breaches. And demand exploded because cybercrime became incredibly sophisticated, unfortunately. A single cyber attack can cost companies millions of dollars, customer trust, lawsuits, and public embarrassment. That makes cybersecurity incredibly valuable. These professionals may monitor networks, investigate suspicious activity, test systems vulnerabilities, improve security protocols, train employees, and respond to attacks in real time. Some specialize in ethical hacking, which basically means companies legally pay them to try to break into systems before the criminals do. Honestly, that sounds like a movie career. Imagine explaining this job to someone decades ago. I professionally hack companies, but in a good way. Now, here's what is especially interesting about cybersecurity. Many employers care more about certifications and practical skill than elite degrees. People enter this field through IT support, networking, military experience, self-study, home labs, and cybersecurity certifications because companies care about one thing. Can you protect our systems? For example, someone might start in entry-level IT support, resetting passwords and troubleshooting computers. Then they learn networking, cloud systems, security tools, penetration testing, and threat analysis. Over time, they move into cybersecurity roles. And because threats constantly evolve, this field rewards continuous learning. Hackers adapt constantly, technology changes constantly, security systems evolve constantly, which means cybersecurity professionals are always learning. Now, let's be honest about what parts of this career can be stressful. Imagine getting a call at midnight because servers are compromised, customer data leaked, or ransomware locked critical systems. That pressure is real, but experienced cybersecurity specialists often earn well over $100K annually, especially in cloud security, penetration testing, incident response, and security architecture. And unlike some trendier careers, cybersecurity demand will probably continue growing for decades because unfortunately, cybercriminals are not planning on retirement anytime soon. So, what's the biggest takeaway from all of this? The path to financial success looks very different than it did 20 years ago. Today, there are multiple careers capable of paying six figures without med school, law school, or a massive graduate degree. But here's the reality. None of these careers are shortcuts. Every high-paying profession still requires discipline, patience, adaptability, and years of skill development. The internet sometimes creates the illusion that success happens instantly and overnight, but most successful people spent years quietly improving before anyone noticed them. That part usually gets left out on the motivational TikToks. The good news is that the opportunity has expanded dramatically. People can now learn through online courses, communities, side projects, certifications, freelancing, and real-world experience. The gatekeepers are weaker than they used to be. Not completely gone, but weaker. And perhaps the biggest lesson in this is modern careers increasingly reward people who can solve problems, communicate clearly, adapt quickly, and continue learning. Because technology changes constantly, but valuable human skills stay valuable. Which of these careers surprised you the most? And what high-paying career do you think deserves to be on this list? Let us know.